easier. Feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak and Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning, 9:03. We have 71 degrees. We're going to have a few afternoon clouds, maybe a pop-up shower. High today, 78. Clear and cooler tonight, low 58. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Day 3 of the RNC. GOP Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance will be the headliner. The theme for today is Make America Strong Once Again. Donald Trump will take the stage tomorrow night when he officially accepts the GOP nomination for the 2024 presidential race. Last night, the former president and his running mate didn't formally address the gathering, but did receive a warm round of applause as they entered the venue.
Another thunderous night inside Fiserv Forum. Donald Trump appearing here for the second night in a row, this time in a light blue tie and a dark suit, talking to an adoring crowd. The thunderous applause rivaled only by the applause for former rivals Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, who both spoke here tonight as well. Nikki Haley saying only 15 seconds into her speech, "I strongly endorse President Donald Trump." Night 2 of 4 in the books at the Republican National Convention. Inside Fiserv Forum, John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Yesterday's theme for the RNC was Make America Safe Again, and roughly 4 blocks from the convention's soft security zone, a man was shot and killed by Columbus, Ohio police, part of a law enforcement contingent brought in to help with RNC security. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson today praised the response of those officers.
The information we have leaves a clear impression that these Columbus officers, they saved the life of an unarmed man from death or perhaps serious injury.
The man, they say, was threatening someone else with 2 knives and wouldn't drop them despite repeated orders to do so. Happened in Milwaukee's King Park neighborhood at 14th and Vliet. Widow of the man who was shot to death at Saturday's Trump rally says she has spoken to the former president. Helen Comparator says she's exchanged words with Trump after the shooting and says he was very kind. President Biden on the campaign trail delivered a speech at the NAACP's annual convention in Las Vegas. ABC's Mary Bruce says some Democratic lawmakers still calling for a change at the top of the ticket.
Some Democrats are uneasy with the party's plan to formally nominate Biden in a virtual roll call in the coming days, weeks ahead of the convention in Chicago next month. In a letter obtained by ABC News, some House Democrats calling for a delay, arguing that holding the nominating vote this early would be stifling debate and prematurely shutting down any possible change in the Democratic ticket.
California Governor Gavin Newsom being sued over the state's new gender identity law. He signed a law Monday that bans schools from notifying parents if their child asks to change their name or pronouns. The Chino Valley Unified School District, however, claims parents have a right to know. Today's National Hot Dog Day. The annual day honoring a Frankfurter in a bun is celebrated on the 3rd Wednesday in July. It'll be an excuse for millions of Americans to treat themselves today to a hot dog with their favorite toppings. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow right now up 135 points after a record-breaking day yesterday. The Nasdaq today sharply lower, down 385. The S&P 500 is down 59. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:06.
Michael Quizon is the IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank. Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT Systems Administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
You
wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
For a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk, the American League rallied to beat the National League 5-3 to win the 2024 MLB All-Star Game at Globe Life Field. The Brewers' William Contreras started at catcher, went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Christian Yelich earned one of the starting outfield spots, also went 0 for 2. And the Bucks are still winless on the NBA Summer League following a 112-97 loss to the Clippers from Las Vegas. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. I-41 South Lincoln Avenue, right shoulder, they're blocked due to an incident. Highway 175 South at West State Street, the right lane was blocked due to debris. That has been cleared. Of course, the usual RNC-related closures around downtown, so give yourself some extra time if you are headed that way.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Sunny start to the day, then a few clouds this afternoon and this evening, maybe a pop-up shower and a high of 78 today. Clearing cool tonight, low 58. Sunny skies tomorrow, 76 for the high. Friday and Saturday, we have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Friday's high 81, Saturday 83, then a slight chance of rain on Sunday, partly cloudy, high again of 81. Madison 67, 66 in Green Bay, and 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:10.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is the Political Power Hour. Here is your host, Steve Scafidi.
Morning, we're live from the Panther Arena. Yes, that is correct. The former home of the Bucks, now the Admirals, and my guest, friend and Washington County Executive Josh Shulman joins me. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
First day at the RNC for you.
It is.
So what do you think so far? You haven't had a chance to see much, but
yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's like an iron cage game in here, but
yeah,
once you're in, it's gorgeous.
The security perimeter is pretty intense. I mean, this is not a lightweight like you see at some of these affairs where it's like a sort of a fence. It's real caging, as you said. And first of all, I got to say thank you to all of the law enforcement, public safety folks.
Oh, their presence is unbelievable. It's so,
and they're all nice,
super nice.
I've had so many great conversations. All right, so I wanted to talk to you this hour about a couple things, and we'll have some guests probably because that's the nature of the show. There's people just wanting.
Yeah, they're walking all
Eric
over
Trump
the place.
walked by before.
He did.
And we're going to hear from Senator Katie Britt from Alabama. We couldn't get her to come on the show live, but we got some audio from her talking about the RNC. But I want to ask you kind of your impressions of what you've watched on TV so far. You're going to be at the Pfizer Forum tonight to see it in person, J.D. Vance, of course.
Yeah.
Your impression of the RNC so far?
I think it's been fantastic. Look, I mean, the nation has been so divided for so long. We've talked about that so many different times on your show, and I think this is the most unified I've ever seen the party. I think it's the most unifying opportunity we've had in the country in most of my lifetime, maybe my total lifetime, with the exception of 9/12. And I really think Republicans right now are capturing that energy in a positive way. I mean, who would have envisioned Nikki Haley 4 months ago standing on that stage saying what she said yesterday?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I talked to Vince and Eric about that. Not just her. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
Marco Rubio.
Right.
Even go back to Ted Cruz, who was attacked. His wife was attacked by Donald Trump. What do you think that is? What is that reality? Because I don't know, I'm sort of a grudge holder. Somebody says something about me, I'm going to remember it for a while. But for those individuals, from Nikki Haley, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and others, J.D. Vance has had some issues with the former president over the years. He was a never Trumper in 2016.
He was a never Trumper in 2016.
I mean, that's a revolution, a sea change of basically how you view someone. What's behind it, do you think?
Well, I think I can relate. I think a lot of people in this country can relate. I think so much has changed since 2016. The country has been in this just tumultuous time, whether it was Black Lives Matter or COVID or whatever it was. It really, though, is, to me, eerily similar to my experience in Iraq in 2003. Saturday in particular, moments like that have this galvanizing effect. And, you're sitting literally in 2003 in a bunker and the Scud missiles coming your way. All of a sudden, everything stops mattering, and it's you and that person and your creator, and that's it. And I think there was that moment, certainly for Republicans, but for all of the country. Like, this is way more serious than that. The love your neighbor mantra that we've been trying to live in Washington County since 2020, I think is resonating across the country right now. I'm really excited for tonight with J.D. Vance. I'm even more excited for tomorrow night because what I'm hearing from President Trump is a man who really wants to see the nation unified and has been changed by that moment on Saturday. And I think the best is yet to come. I'm super excited.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because we got some great audio from Don Jr. was talking about it with Libby Collins, and also Corey Lewandowski, who's worked closely with the president for a long time.
Yeah.
On Saturday's events, I was watching CNN, and it's kind of unusual for me because I don't really watch a ton of TV Saturday afternoon because it was nice outside. But I'm watching this unfold. I couldn't believe it. First off, because it had been so long since Reagan, 1981, and now we're seeing this again play out essentially on live TV. Your initial reaction to that?
Well, first of all, 1981 was the year I was born, so I can't even relate to
No,
that.
you can't.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's exciting about J.D. coming on as VP, the first millennial to get to this level of politics, and I can relate to that too. But I was hanging tree stands, and you're a hunter. When you're doing that, like the rule is don't nobody bother me. My phone rang, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I pick up my phone, and my wife's like, Trump just got shot. I'm like, are you kidding? She's like, no, not at all. And I'm trying to get reception out in the woods and can't. And by the time I saw the videos, it's just stunning. The way that he turned his head. And I've been saying, I think I said this to you last time we talked. When I was at the Racine rally, he followed the teleprompter 80% of the time. I mean, for a guy who is notoriously one that just goes off script, he was on script. And literally being on script saved his life. Ron Johnson's PowerPoint saved his life. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Josh Sheldon, my guest, Washington County Executive, is spending his first day at the RNC. It's day 3 for me. After the break, some audio that I want you to hear about the events of Saturday, especially in relation to what wasn't done to protect the life of the only president of the United States we have right now. The former president, I should say, only former. What am I saying?
You get it right.
The former president, the only guy that's former and running for president. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
We will get to that audio and get Josh's reaction to that. And I'm just really curious, Josh, think about it during the break, what you think the shortcomings or failures were on Saturday, because that's a big story when it involves the life and safety of our president. All right, I'm just getting warmed up on this Wednesday. It's hump day, right? It's Wednesday,
it is.
Yes.
It is.
All right, RNC, Panther Arena, WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
This is WTMJ, Steve Scafidi for Adair Floors, A-D-A-I-R. That's all you need to know. Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin. Been there for, get this, 65 years. They have a design team. I work with that design team. We just redid our basement landing area. It looks fantastic. Sort of a wood plank look. If you have flooring and remodeling needs, they are the team to go with. Home or business, family owned and operated right there in Franklin, South 27th Street. South of Rawson, north of Highway 100, which is Ryan Road. Stop in, tell them Scafidi sent you. Visit them online as well at Adair, A-D-A-I-R, floors.com.
We love being a trusted friend in the community for those who need an attorney but don't know where to turn. Our clients aren't the kind of people who typically bring lawsuits. Our clients have been hurt in a crash or accident and need our help and advice. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Frank Pasternak and I are injury lawyers living, working, and giving back in our community. When you need help from exceptional personal injury lawyers, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Steve Scavini with you at the RNC in Milwaukee. It's been a wonderful week. I mean, it's just amazing. All the people. I saw everybody yesterday. Every media celebrity, every elected official from every state. I mean, I spent a lot of time in and around the Pfizer Forum, and Josh Shulman, Washington County Executive, is with me this morning. He'll get his first taste of all of that. You'll be surprised, like, how close you are to these folks. You'll turn around, oh, there's Wolf Blitzer. Oh, I saw Rick Santorum standing next to me yesterday, so I said hi. I mean, it's sort of a weird vibe because that's not typically what we do in the course of our day. It's just a weird dynamic.
Pretty cool to have in Milwaukee, isn't it? I mean, it's really special.
It is special. Now, I mentioned the proximity thing because a lot of us who saw what happened on Saturday are wondering, how does somebody with that kind of firepower get that close to the president? I'm not sure what to make of it.
Yeah, it's hard to understand. I mean, one thing to I think keep in mind is there's always going to be questions from now on, right? I mean, you think about JFK's assassination, you think about MLK, you think about Ronald Reagan, and there's still questions to this day that people have, right? And they're suspicious and conspiracies and all of those things. Some of that will never go away. But thank the good Lord that the president turned his head as he did, and this didn't turn into some worse tragedy and calamity. And, I think it has the opportunity to change this country permanently for the good.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to that point, but I want to play a little bit of audio that our own Libby Collins, who's just been lights out brilliant in her news gathering. I didn't even know Libby had it in her, to be honest. She's been blowing us away. She got a couple clips. First one is the son of the president, Don Jr., talking about Saturday.
Don Jr., what's your reaction to the Secret Service head saying that the roof was too sloped to put security on?
I think it's the dumbest comment I've ever heard in my life.
And what should happen to her? Should she resign?
I don't think she should be running the Secret Service.
Don, would your dad fire her?
Ma'am, thank you. I don't know. Appreciate asking.
Okay, I agree with him completely. This slope roof nonsense, if it was a mountain and you had to be on the side of it to prevent the president from being here, that's what your job is. I don't get it.
It makes no sense. I was in Racine just a few weeks ago. We talked about that, and there was law enforcement presence everywhere. I mean, walk around here, there's law enforcement everywhere you go. It's so hard to understand and believe that was even possible to happen, and then all the civilians standing there pointing out the shooter for
everybody
minutes.
Was aware of
it. It was unreal. There's no question in my mind the head of the Secret Service should resign. I mean, if for no other reason than just out of pure embarrassment. But
should President Biden fire?
100%. I mean, the buck's got to stop somewhere. If she's not going to take responsibility, then yes, I think the president needs to fire.
Another clip from Libby's news gathering. He's a longtime ally of the former president, Corey Lewandowski. We'll play that, and then we'll come back.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. It's only going to get hotter. You know that. It's summer in Wisconsin. Do not cool off the outside of your house this year. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Why do I say that? Super spacer technology. Keeps the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. Call Universal Windows Direct today, 414. I'll go slow. 414-410-2000. Every 2 windows you buy, 2 free, 4, you get it. Plus, if you need it, 0% financing for 60 months. Update your windows with Universal Windows means extra protection for the elements, consistent temperature, which is awesome. Energy efficiency increases, and reduce heating and cooling costs. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. And guess what? Tell them I told you to call. Additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com or 414-410-2000. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy. With free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it. And we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Time for another new coat of paint on your house? Get Rhino Shield ceramic coating. You won't have to paint again for 25 years guaranteed. Right now, get $1,500 off with 12 months same as cash financing. Visit RhinoShieldWIS.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Talking about security, was President Biden at fault for not giving President Trump enough Secret Service security?
Well, look, let's be very clear. When you're the leading candidate for President of the United States, you should have every resource available to you. And if there was a denial by the administration for additional protection, for a protectee of the United States Secret Service, then there should be a full congressional investigation and someone should be held accountable, fired at minimum. I don't know if a request was made, but if it was made, the question is why were there no available air assets? Why were there no drones in the air looking at thermal? Right? I have been part of this team now for 10 years and seen the great work that the men of the U.S. Secret Service have done. But if there was a failure because they asked for resources and they weren't given it, that's not on the line individual who's working there. That's a bureaucrat or someone else who needs to be held accountable.
That is the voice of Corey Lewandowski, gathered by our own Libby Collins. Josh Shulman joining me, Washington County Executive here. And, boy, if there's a connection like that, that is a big problem for the current incumbent in the White House, Joe Biden.
Well, it's absolutely embarrassing. I think you hit the nail on the head. If there was a denial, the person should be fired at minimum. It's that simple. I mean, in today's day and age, in today's politics, we don't see accountability, and I think this is an opportunity to see accountability. And what's more important than the life of our elected leaders?
You and I both know, you're a county executive, I was a mayor, that managing budgets are really tough, and they get tougher. They're not getting easier. There's an art to it.
Yeah.
You certainly, I mean, the way I used to do it is I'd listen to all of the managers and the department heads and sort of, all right, what do we need to do? What's kind of a want? What's a need? All that stuff. But when it comes to the critical elements of running our country, this is not one I would mess with. And, but for the grace of God, but for a couple of inches or a look at a teleprompter, this is we could be talking about a much different story today. And the serious and the gravity of this conversation is one that we shouldn't just thankfully he's okay and then forget about. This has a lingering impact. This is something we need to start thinking about long term, not just for individuals who represent our government, but our government in general. And I'm going to bring it to a different thing we're going to talk about in the next half hour about policy. you can also make the case that this sort of laxness when it comes to our border is a big problem as well, one that has serious implications, not for an individual or a president, but everybody else.
That's 100% correct. First of all, this is why I'm so glad to see RFK Jr. finally getting some Secret Service that, I mean, it's way overdue. And, forget the politics. This is really about safety and security. Secondly, to your point, this is about priorities. And that is, again, accountability issue. Like, we have gotten so lost in all the hyperbole and all the rhetoric and all the Hollywood of Washington, D.C., that we forget about there's some really important things that government does, and it should do them really, really well, and leave all of the other stuff. When you try to do everything and be all things to all people, you kind of end up sucking at everything, and this is a really good example of that. Now, to your point about the border wall, I mean, I don't know if you heard this, but there were reports that Iran was trying to assassinate President Trump. I mean, chances are probably pretty good. We know we've seen people come from the southern border that were Iranian and Chinese and everything else, and it's an absolute security nightmare. It's a national security issue, and it needs to stop now.
It's a question of not if, but when. And if you don't have control of something, it's mind-boggling to me that we've messed around with this issue for so long. Both both sides. I'll be honest about that. But if you have a clear idea that this is a problem, how can you not fix it?
Exactly, and I think that's kind of this reality that so many people are coming to, and I think it's actually unifying in a way, because now you saw it in the most dynamic and hyperbolic kind of a situation possible, with President Trump literally getting shot. It's like something's got to happen. Like, everybody's got to stop, turn the temperature down, and get down to brass tacks, and those are priorities like safety and security.
You kind of made the point earlier about the day after 9/11, 9/12, and sort of the clarifying impact of that horrible day in America. Could, in fact, what happened Saturday have that same, to maybe a lesser degree, or maybe not, have a clarifying...
I think it 100% is. Here's a really good example politically. All of a sudden, you saw the attention turn. The Joe Scarborough show on MSNBC was off for a day.
Yeah.
President Biden's comments about putting President Trump in a bullseye were all over the place. I think the tenor of our politics has the opportunity to change right now, but it's going to take leadership, and that's why I'm excited to hear from J.D. Vance and President Trump tomorrow, because I think they have an opportunity that very few politicians in American history have ever had, and if they hit the nail right on the head, this could change the country permanently.
I'm going to ask you about that. We got to get to local news and the latest from ABC, but I want to ask you about the selection of J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite, and what that means, what you think he will say tonight, and whether that sort of that moment in the spotlight will really happen tonight and Thursday night at the RNC. We're at the Panther Arena. We're going to have the latest from Connie Weber, the fantastic Connie Weber, who joins us on the big show, Political Power Hour. Before we get to that, the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Homeland Security Department launching an investigation into the Secret Service's handling of the Trump rally in which he was nearly assassinated. At the convention tonight in Milwaukee, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance will deliver his acceptance speech. Joe Biden back on the campaign trail in Nevada today. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer urging New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez to resign following Menendez's conviction on bribery and corruption charges. ABC's Aaron Katursky with more on what he did.
While serving as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Menendez did favors for Egypt and Qatar and assisted several New Jersey businessmen in exchange for gold bars and wads of cash totaling nearly $500,000 that were found in a safe, his jackets, even his shoes. Prosecutors called it shocking levels of corruption.
Britain's new Labour Party promising to ease the cost of living crisis in the UK, setting out its plans for national renewal in today's opening of Parliament. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:31. Day 3 of the RNC. The theme today, Make America Strong Again. Yesterday's theme was Make America Safe Again. WTMJ's Libby Collins asked former Governor Tommy Thompson,
Is Wisconsin as safe today as it was when you were governor?
No, absolutely not. We had a very safe state when I was governor, and it continued until after I left. But the truth of the matter is, it's not as safe today as it was when I was governor.
Western Wisconsin Congressman Derek Van Orden says he was assaulted at the RNC by a protester with the group Code Pink. Code Pink says he did the pushing while waiting in line. The woman was detained and is being questioned. In Brown County, still looking for the father of 2 boys found dead in Green Bay this week. No one's seen Bill Selnick since Saturday. His sailboat found in the Bay of Green Bay over the weekend overturned. His children, ages 3 and 5, found dead nearby. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman, one of 2 finalists for Chief of Police in Austin, Texas. Norman has served as Milwaukee's top cop since 2021. He joined the department in 1996. Time for some news about your money. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, a mixed bag on Wall Street. We'll start with the NASDAQ. It is sharply lower, down 419 points, 18,089. The S&P 500 is down 63 at 5,603. The Dow is up again today, 137 points at 41,091. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with the fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. I-41 north at the ramp from Drexel Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked there due to a disabled vehicle. Just the shoulder, not the lane, but it may be a little slow there. Also expect the convention-related closures, of course, still in effect downtown. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. After a sunny start to the day, a few afternoon clouds, maybe an isolated pop-up shower today. A high of 78. Clear and cooler tonight, low 58. Sunshine 76 tomorrow. Mostly sunny Friday with a high of 78. Partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 83. And a slight chance of rain on Sunday, a high of 81. 67 in Madison, Green Bay at 66. Milwaukee, 71 degrees. I'm Connie Weber. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
Your home's defense is crucial. Defensive failure is offensive to you. Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course, siding. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Siding Unlimited handles several great brands. They are one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the whole country. The only one around here. Doors and decks, roofing, siding. Yes, 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 and yes. Nobody can beat Siding Unlimited. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you'll get honest pricing, guaranteed. What is that? Well, no gimmicks, none of that BOGO, buy one now, get blah, 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 chin boogie. This is what it will cost you, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. SidingUnlimited.com.
It was a sobering headline. Social Security to run short by 2035. A possible 17% reduction in benefits. At Annex Wealth Management, we feel that Social Security is only one leg of the retirement stool, but it provides needed balance. It's time to stress test your retirement plan and move forward with guidance from the fee-only fiduciaries at Annex. Do it for you, your family, your legacy. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. It only takes a few minutes to get the ball rolling. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Loyal Family Renovations and Abbey Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Oh, you finally got around to his theme music. Josh Shulman, Washington County Executive, joining us at the Panther Arena at the RNC on the third day, your first day.
Getting fired up for J.D. Vance, baby.
Yeah, and then you could see the buzz sort of. Remember, I was just telling you it's kind of slow, and all of a sudden, boom, there's all people all over the place.
They must have heard our theme music.
Maybe that's it. You're taking credit for it? Is that what's happening there?
Yeah.
All right, I mentioned J.D. Vance. He wasn't my pick because I'm a Nikki Haley supporter. But I know a lot of people like J.D. Vance, Ohio Senator, was aided by Donald Trump to win that Senate seat. He's 39 years old. Great story. I mean, you're a big fan of the story. You were saying that earlier. What do you think of the pick beyond just the story?
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends who wanted to see Marco Rubio or Nikki Haley. I was a Rubio guy back in 2016, and I can understand that. I mean, you need a ticket from that perspective. But here's the thing about J.D. Vance. The more you read about him, the more you understand the guy, I think the more excited I get. He is an everyday American who has pulled himself up by his bootstraps and has become a U.S. Senator. He went to Ohio State University, went to Yale. He was in Iraq. He was a Marine.
That story hasn't been told enough. The Marine background.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time. He's only been in the Senate for 2 years. So I think he's got a really powerful story. I think it's really going to resonate. He could have been from anywhere: Fond du Lac, Kenosha, Janesville, West Bend. I think I've told you this before. West Bend 25 years ago had almost 5,000 jobs on the river. Today it's got 5,000 apartment dwellers. I mean, the opioid epidemic, him experiencing it firsthand, I think it's going to really resonate with people, especially in the Rust Belt. I think you're going to see him planted in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, over and over and over again. We're going to see him. I'm going to try like hell to get him in Washington County.
There you go.
Because I think that message will really resonate with people of all stripes.
One of the things I've been talking about for a long time is sort of this absence of younger Republican leaders, and this one, age 39, certainly helps that.
It absolutely does, and I've been saying for a long time, I think it's time to pass the torch of the American dream from one generation to the next. I think we have not seen that for many years, and President Trump just gave us that opportunity. I'm really excited for J.D. Again, as you mentioned before, he was an ever-Trumper in 2016. He didn't vote for President Trump. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that. I can relate to that. It has changed. It has evolved, and I especially think after Saturday, I really think this party is as unified as it has ever been. Tommy Thompson said that. I mean, Tommy's been around forever. If Tommy's saying that, you know it's got to be true.
Yeah, because Tommy Thompson, if you don't know that, he's known for being a guy that can reach across the aisle to work with other people. Even if they disagree with him completely, he's that kind of a leader and has always been that way. And he's still present here at the RNC, still walking around, still meeting people and trying to get things done for Republicans.
I'm excited for the speech tonight. I'm even more excited for President Trump's speech on Thursday. After Saturday happened, if you watch some of the interviews that he has had, you can tell he's a changed man. You saw him on Monday come out, right? I mean, his body language, his facial expressions, I thought he was going to cry when he saw all of the crowd reacting. I think he's a changed man. I think we're a changed country. I think he can represent that and bring us together like we haven't been brought together in most of my lifetime. And I think J.D. Vance represents that. And I think both of them, I'm excited, are going to carry us into November and way past that for decades to come.
County Executive Josh Shulman joining me at the Panther Arena at the RNC. We'll take a break here. Talk about some policy stuff, some ideas for the future for Republicans. I said this yesterday. I might have said it Monday, too. The trend for Republicans and conservatives is completely transformed and changed. I think it's everything going in the right trend direction. And we'll talk about some of that stuff and a whole lot more as we wind it up to the 10 o'clock hour. Jeff Sherman on the upswing. You're listening, of course, to the Political Power Hour on 620 WTMJ.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Sifidi for Advent. I had snoring issues, tossing and turning, restless nights of sleep, lots of poor sleep. You don't want that reality. To put simply, my nose wasn't working properly. I did something about it. I went to Advent, one of the great facilities, talked to their docs, did a really simple sleep study at home. They determined my problem was sinuses and nasal passages. My breathing triangle, they fixed it for me. Life has been great since. Sleeping through the whole night, how does that sound? No tossing and turning, how does that sound? If you struggle like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help you. Find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better. Go to adventknows.com. Schedule an appointment today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Shaft in Hartford is hiring servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. A great summer job for high school and college students. You'll make great cash. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Grandpa was long retired from working in the Rapids paper mill when I finished law school.
Dan Krause, Army veteran and owner of Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Grandpa and Grandma asked me to help them get their wills set up. They worried about losing the homestead if they needed nursing care. This was my first experience with estate planning. I just loved it. During the years that I spent in the Army Reserves as a JAG attorney, I was building a small estate planning law firm. After retiring from 21 years in the Army, I've been growing the firm with 3 offices now to help more seniors like my grandparents. At Krause Estate Planning, our entire team loves helping seniors. It's a requirement in our recruiting process. We do help people of all ages, but we hope all of our clients will become seniors one day.
Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center in Brookfield, Madison, and Oregon. A veteran-owned law firm.
Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
We are broadcasting live from the Panther Arena, the RNC in Milwaukee, Day 3. Day 1 for my guest, Josh Shulman, Washington County Executive. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of policy talk. I had candidate for U.S. Senate Eric Hovde was in here. When was he here? Yesterday. And I asked him a question about what's the big issue. He's everywhere as a candidate. Not that Tammy Baldwin is. She's also around the state of Wisconsin. But for him, and I agree with him, the family budgets. I call it gas and groceries. That's the big thing, right? You always hear about people, what's the price of gas? My groceries are too much. That is the driver. Do you agree with that? And how are you seeing that manifest in your neck of the woods?
Top 3 issues that I heard on doors this spring: economy and the inflation, immigration, and election integrity, in that order. And yes, I think whether it's gas prices, the price of a mortgage, the price of rent, the price of groceries, everything has gone up exponentially, really, in the last 4 years, and people are really sensitive about that. James Carville said when I was growing up, when Bill Clinton was running for president and took out HW, it's the economy, stupid. It's still the economy, stupid. It's why Biden's struggling so much, and I think it's what's going to catapult President Trump. If he stays disciplined like he has, it's going to catapult him to the presidency again.
I know you're a guy that reads a lot and you study this stuff and you look at the numbers. Yep. Stock market, markets in general, just flying off the charts. Almost at 41. I mean, it's insane. I remember when my friend Dave Spano said 40 would be attained, and here we are talking about 41,000. How do you reconcile that?
It's funny. There was just an article this morning in the Journal Sentinel by Craig Gilbert about the changing politics of the state of Wisconsin. How it used to be the wild counties versus Milwaukee and Madison, and now it's becoming more purple around the Milwaukee area and more red in outer Wisconsin, the rural-urban divide. I think what you're seeing, what you're describing, is a difference in classes, the haves and the have-nots. And that's why the pick of J.D. Vance is so important. I see it here in Washington County all the time. The farther north you get in Washington County, you'd swear you're in northern Wisconsin. The farther south, you can see the city of Milwaukee from certain spots. So, I really think it comes down to people are feeling in their pocketbooks. If you can't afford to have a 401k or don't have much of one, that really doesn't matter to you. When gas prices are $4 a gallon and groceries are out of control, I just saw 2 Coca-Colas for $4.50, 20-ounce bottles. I mean, it's insane.
How does Donald Trump and J.D. Vance address that?
I think
that market line of separation.
This is why, Hillbilly Elegy for me was one of the books that was a motivation.
Written by J.D. Vance.
Written by J.D. Vance was one of the books that was a motivation for our great community. Next Generation Housing, Hart and Homestead, we've talked about it a lot.
Yep.
But it's really trying to focus on the people and help them at where they're at. That's what J.D.'s all about. That's what President Trump has been trying to do. I think it's the big things, just like in the housing stuff that we're working on. Cut regulation, get government out of the way, Give people opportunity, and they'll take it from there. Make it as simple as possible for them to achieve the American dream, and you'll be astounded at what they can do.
If that's issue number one, what's issue number two?
I heard immigration on doors, overwhelmingly. And you think, Washington County.
How does that play into your county?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. And we talked about it a little bit before. Every county has become a border county, right? So the opioid epidemic, which is now the heroin crisis, which is now fentanyl. I mean, it is coming over the border in droves, and it's killing people in our communities. That story last night from that mother whose son was lost by one mistake of taking something he shouldn't have taken. It's motivating. It's sad. It's got to stop. And I really think President Trump and J.D. Vance have got the energy right now to be able to make massive change, stop the border, close the border, and really make some reforms that we haven't seen in my lifetime.
All right, Josh Shulman joining Washington County Executive. After the break, we're going to bring in one of the unofficial ambassadors of Milwaukee. Everybody knows him. Mark Castle join us at the big in the big chair at the RNC Panther Arena right here on 620 WTMJ. That's next.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
I knew there had to be a better way to get relief from joint pain aside from surgery and harmful medications.
That's football legend and dancing champ Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about joint pain.
Turns out I was right. It's called QC Kinetics, and now tens of thousands of patients and counting all across the country, they're feeling amazing. They say, hey, Emmitt, you were right.
QC Kinetics zeroed in on a technology that is revolutionizing pain treatment. They are transforming patients' lives. The largest provider of non-surgical regenerative treatments using natural healing properties to help restore and repair aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. Call them today for your free consultation.
QC Kinetics. I knew there had to be a better way. I love it when I'm right.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free Retirement Ready Toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for 2-day painting. Summer is the perfect time to maintain the outside of your home. Most homeowners have peeling paint, cracked or missing caulk, even rotting wood. Letting these go into winter will increase the chance of damage that will cost you more in the future. 2-day painting offering 15% off their summer special, plus a rebate program. Get 10% back up to $1,000 in free winter interior work for whatever you spend this summer. Terms and conditions do apply. Call for details. 262-706-1135, 2daypainting.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Oh, this hour went fast. Washington County Executive Josh Shulman, a friend of mine, who is taking his first day at the RNC. So far, so good. You've had fun on the show.
This is awesome. Yeah. Always good to be with you.
We love talking about politics and all that. Now, we're not going to talk about politics for the most part, but one of the unofficial ambassadors of our city, Mark Cass, former editor of the Business Journal, now executive director of Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame, vice president at Lammy. What's the rest of that?
Team Lammy.
Team Lammy.
All sports all the time, Steve.
That's right.
Sports, politics to sports,
yeah,
remember?
It's a great organization. All right, so you've been in and around the RNC. What do you think? How are we doing?
This is great. This is overwhelming at times. There's just so many people inside the zone.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday
walking around.
was booming.
Yeah, it's like you're walking around, you're seeing these people walk by. I know that person. I know that person.
Yeah.
It's been cool. I think it's great for the city. I think it's looked good on television. I watched it on actually for last night, and they showed a lot of skyline shots. They showed the art museum. The city showed well, and I think it's gone very well. I mean, there's been some issues as we've all heard about, but overall, this has been great for the city. Just think about what's being said about us kind of nationally and internationally.
You're a guy that knows about planning events.
Yes.
So we were all kind of wondering, how would this, all the planning, we talked about it for a year, or more.
We talked about it back to 2018.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the planning seems to have worked out. You and I were just talking during the break. It looks fantastic.
Yes,
I mean,
it does.
it's down to the flower detail and the landscaping and where stuff is.
And flags everywhere.
Yeah.
There's kind of little things that are everywhere. And there's people. And the other thing I've noticed is how nice everybody is. We were at the opening event, and I was talking to people from Alaska, from Alabama, from California, from Texas, who had never been to Milwaukee before, who were all speaking very highly of the city, how easy it was to get around, and how nice we were. So that's, I think, been great for them, and they were all talking already about coming here again. You know, whether it's 24, 25, 26. So that's really where this helps.
I had the same exact experience. The red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it was a great event, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
So much fun.
And I was directing all the people to the fish fry.
Fish fry.
Yeah.
German,
if you're from Wisconsin.
German food, though.
Well, I was eating the German food.
Okay, I was going to say. Or you were eating that Kringle Sundae, weren't you?
Yes, I ate
there was
the Kringle Sundae.
Steve, they had some Kringle
Stop with the food stuff.
I had to put some extra stuff
I had a protein bar today. That's all I consumed. Stop with the food stuff. So as far as the rest of this goes, so we got the big speeches is kind of how this ends.
The next 2 days, yep.
The weather has... It's Chamber of Commerce weather because it was a little warm and sticky on Monday. I sweated through a couple of shirts.
We're trying to meet the people from Texas feeling
well,
or Louisiana.
People from Alabama were thinking, we're here.
Hey, this feels good. So as far as all of that, the pomp and circumstance, does it just kind of happen and it just slowly fades away?
Yeah, well, there's an after event, of course, which everyone's kind of heard about after the event on Thursday, which is going to go into Friday, I think, by the time the concert starts.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to slowly. I think you'll see some of the people around, but it'll be interesting next week because next week already is for Northwestern Mutual. Remember, it comes in with a huge event, and then you got Harley Fest, and the Air and Water Show, and German Fest, and oh my God, this is going to be crazy.
I got to ask you, former editor of the Milwaukee Business Journal, the business impact. I've seen it. Some of the places outside the zone. They've been pretty slow.
100%. There's no doubt when I walk around kind of where I live in downtown and other areas downtown, it is slow. But you get near the convention area, and it is busy. And there's a lot of places that are closed. I know I talked to Russ Kliss over at the Lakefront Brewery. He's closed all week. You know why? Because he's rented out every day, and he's getting every media calling him to do their live shots there. Other places are closed for these events. But there's no doubt it's not everybody. I think everyone thought it was going to be every restaurant, every bar was going to be packed, and that's just not happening. But it is helping a lot of people, and I think we have to look long term. What does this mean for our city long term? What does this mean for an image? What do we mean for an all-star game, hopefully? That's what we really want.
I think you're going to see it from the delegates that you talk to, that I talk to. I think they're going to go home and talk about how great Milwaukee was. I mean, it's got to be going pretty well. Chevy Johnson and the county executive were down here all the time, and the county executive from Allegheny
and Chevy got a call from Trump. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What is this?
I was going to ask you
cats
about
are
that.
living together.
I mean, that must have been a weird call. Would you like to listen to that one?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chevy, I'm over at the Fister. Come on over for a drink.
I mean, you think about just the impact of that. That is a candidate for president, former president, who's about as conservative as you get.
Yes.
Some people might disagree. And then you've got a Democrat, mayor of a very liberal city, coming together. Maybe this goes to your point before about things are transformational.
Maybe I'll get him at Cracker Barrel before it's over.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sure someone's got an event.
Are we resurrecting the Cracker Barrel story?
A private event at Cracker Barrel. We should have done that.
Exactly.
I like that.
See?
All right, so in your new life, how does any of this impact you?
Yeah, I just think it's about image of Milwaukee. It's about wanting to be here, wanting to attend events here. Everything that helps our city helps a company like ours because it helps the brand. It helps us sell Milwaukee when it comes to athletes, when it comes to sponsors. People want to be around something. I actually heard this. I was at an event earlier this week out at AmFam where they had ambassadors from all over the world were there, and all of them were talking about Milwaukee. That helps us as a city.
And it's having a huge impact beyond that. I mean, I know there's a lot of people going out and golfing in Erin, going up and golfing in Sheboygan. There's people, the Texas delegation, I think, is all the way out in Madison. There's folks up in the Fox Valley. So this is having huge ripple effect. It's a great example of how Milwaukee is the economic engine of the state,
correct.
and it's having an effect everywhere.
Exactly right. And we got to get out of here, but I want to just say a thank you to all the public safety folks, all the workers and volunteers.
So nice. Amazing. Everyone you talk to is so
my
friendly.
Goodness. And they will answer any question. If they can answer, they will direct you to someone who can. And
I had a lady walking with
lives
me.
Here.
I had a lady walking with me on Sunday down the street, and a pack of biking cops came by from Columbus, Ohio, and she's, "Can you give me some directions?" And they all stopped.
They're like,
you got to go this way.
Columbus is south.
All right. I got to admit, for the first time ever, I stole one of my fellow teammates, co-host guests. You're going to be on with Jeff Sherman.
All right. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk some more about this great event.
Unofficial ambassador of Milwaukee, Mark Cass. Always great to see you.
Always good to be here.
Always great to see you, my friend Josh Shulman, Washington County Executive. We'll do it again a month
Very
from now.
apropos that
That's
we're
right.
in the Mecca for
I like
this.
this.
Huh?
Yes. All right.
Let's play some basketballs on this right here, right?
Get a hoop and a ball. I'm in. This has been the Political Power Hour on 620 WTMJ.
As men get older, benign prostatic hyperplasia, commonly known as an enlarged prostate gland, often becomes a problem, with symptoms ranging from mild to life-disrupting. To help us understand the condition and options available to treat it is Dr. Mircea Cristescu, a vascular and interventional radiologist with the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Doctor, thank you so much for being with us.
It's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation, John.
What is the prostate gland and what is its function?
The prostate gland is a small walnut-shaped gland located in the pelvis, which is part of the male reproductive system. Its primary role is making the fluid that helps sperm survive and travel outside the body.
So who's more likely to experience an enlarged prostate gland?
An enlarged prostate gland, or what we call BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, is a non-cancerous growth of the prostate, which generally begins for men in our 40s. Now, some growth of the prostate is normal as we age, but because of the prostate's location, which is surrounding the urethra, that enlargement can begin to narrow the urine stream, which passes from the bladder to outside the body.
Why should men choose the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network for treatment of enlarged prostate gland?
Here at Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we are fortunate to have a phenomenal collaborative multidisciplinary team of general practitioners, urologists, interventional radiologists who have experience in treating BPH and related conditions. We offer the full gamut of medical, surgical, minimally invasive therapies for BPH, which is important because everybody's symptoms are different and every treatment has different risks and benefits and side effect profiles. You really want to be able to see a doctor who can offer you choices between the best individually tailored treatment options for you and your specific symptoms. BPH is a common disorder. It's a very disruptive disorder, but fortunately there are now many fantastic treatment options for patients suffering from the disease.
Dr. Mircea Cristescu, thanks for being with us today. To find a doctor who's right for you, visit Fredert.com.
We love being a trusted friend in the community for those who need an attorney but don't know where to turn. Our clients aren't the kind of people who typically bring lawsuits. Our clients have been hurt in a crash or accident and need our help and advice. I'm Frank Pasternak of Pasternak & Zergabel. Jeff Zergabel and I are injury attorneys living, working, and giving back in our community. When you need help from exceptional personal injury lawyers, go to Pasternak & Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
The Republican National Convention is officially here in Milwaukee. Keep it tuned here for the most in-depth coverage of every angle of the RNC. This is Decision Wisconsin, presented by Pasternak & Zergabel. We are your central hub for all things RNC. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 10:01. We have 74 degrees. A few afternoon and evening clouds, maybe a pop-up shower today, a high of 78. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Ohio Senator and GOP Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance, the headliner tonight on the third day of the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee. Donald Trump expected to take the stage tomorrow evening when he officially accepts the GOP nomination for president. Last night at Fiserv Forum, his former rivals gave him their endorsements.
They're in a section in the very front row of the arena, decked out in red, white, and blue, sitting, listening attentively. There are young delegates. There are older delegates. I saw Tommy Thompson. I saw many others. They were excited to hear Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis talk tonight, and they're looking forward to seeing the vice president talk on Wednesday night. Inside Fiserv Forum, John Mercure, WTMJ News.
This morning, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson addressed the shooting death of a homeless man in a park near the RNC. The shots fired by Columbus police trying to thwart a knife attack on another man. Johnson says those Ohio officers weren't there trying to supersede Milwaukee law enforcement.
They were there briefing about the activities of the day. While they were there briefing, not seeking to engage with anybody from my understanding, they then saw the situation that was unfolding.
Happened roughly 4 blocks from the RNC soft security zone in Milwaukee's King Park neighborhood. Safety and security has been top of mind for RNC delegates.
Tuesday night's theme at the RNC was Make America Safe Again. I asked Corey Lewandowski, President Trump's first campaign manager from 2016, how security failed at the rally on Saturday.
Well, look, let's be very clear. When you're the leading candidate for President of the United States, you should have every resource available to you, and if there was a denial by the administration for additional protection for a protectee of the United States Secret Service, then there should be a full congressional investigation. Someone should be held accountable, fired at minimum.
For WTMJ News, I'm Libby Collins.
Memorial service plans have been announced for the man who was killed in the Trump assassination attempt. Corey Comparator was shot to death at that Trump rally in Pennsylvania while shielding his family from bullets. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer among the dozens of Democrats now calling on New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez to resign after he was found guilty of bribery charges yesterday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy also asking Menendez to step down and for the U.S. Senate to expel him if he refuses. Senator Cory Booker released a statement calling it a dark, painful day for New Jersey while calling on Menendez to resign. Forecasters warning of life-threatening heat conditions across the eastern U.S. today. National Weather Service says the combination of heat and high humidity will produce widespread record-high minimum temperatures this morning across the east and the deep south. It's so hot in Greece, the government's closed the Acropolis to tourists for several hours in the middle of the day.
In Athens, the biggest cultural attraction is closed from noon to 5 p.m. For these American tourists,
a little upset that we can't go up and see the Acropolis on the only day we're here.
I wish that they didn't because we're here to go up there, but I also understand that they may know more than I do.
The extreme weather's affecting much of the country. Southern Europe swelters in a heat wave that's sending temperatures spiraling. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 77 points. The S&P 500 is down 69, and the Nasdaq sharply lower today, down 442 points this hour at 18,067. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts next weekend. For 3 days only, next Friday through Sunday, get 20% off. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts next Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
For a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. American League rallied to beat the National League 5-3 and win the 2024 MLB All-Star Game at Globe Life Field. Bucks still winless on the NBA Summer League following a 112-97 loss to the Clippers from Las Vegas. Tuesday, Packers QB Jordan Love held a football camp for Milwaukee kids at University School. He tells TMJ4 why he wanted the opportunity to teach kids about the game.
Since you get in that role of making it to the NFL, that's like the first thing me and some of my friends talk about. Doing one back home in our hometown, and we've done that for 2 years. And now I'm doing one here in Wisconsin where I play, and you know, these kids are able to see us play is something that's awesome.
Love declined to comment on his contract with the Packers or training camp. Packers training camp begins Monday, July 22nd. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. I-43 south at the ramp from Layton Avenue, there is a broken down vehicle. It is off right. It's just on the shoulder, but there may be some slowing in that area. Otherwise, no major delays to report. Just watch for the convention-related restrictions in downtown.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A few clouds this afternoon and this evening, maybe an isolated shower and a high 78. Clear and cool tonight, low 58. Sunny and 76 tomorrow. Mostly sunny, a little bit warmer Friday, high of 81. Partly cloudy, 83 on Saturday. Then Sunday, a slight chance of rain again and a high Sunday of 81. Madison, 72, 70 in Green Bay, and we're up to 76 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
This is WTMJ at the Republican National Convention. Now broadcasting live from Media Row at the Panther Arena inside the RNC. This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Here is your host, Jeff Sherman.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Live from the RNC. The RNC and MKE day number 3. First thing, all week long, we're joined by Josh Albrecht, the Chief Marketing Officer at Visit Milwaukee. Continuing to hear, kind of we talked about yesterday, almost a little bit of a mixed bag on some of the local bars and restaurants from dinner and lunch crowds. So we're going to dive in and talk to 2 more local business owners today on the show. We're going to pivot a little bit for the second half of the show and talk campaign strategy, specifically digital campaign strategy, with a board member from the American Association of Political Consultants. Today, we're also joined, as Steve Scafidi said, by Mark Cass, Senior VP at Team Lammy, who's been to many events at the convention this week, including yesterday's MMAC Milwaukee 7 event at AmFam Field, which had 70 different foreign ambassadors. Yep. So Mark's going to tell us all about that. So, Mark, convention thoughts.
Yeah. Really impressive. I mean, it is something, you know, I mean, we've heard about it for so many years. We heard about it in 2020. We heard it's coming in 24. You're thinking it's this. But for those of us who've never seen one before, it's pretty impressive when you're kind of walking around and then when you're in the arena and you see the stage and you see who's walking around. And you're like, wait, I know that person. I've seen that person on TV. That's cool for the city. There's a coolness factor all week. Yeah. Just seeing what's going on. And I think the city's showing well. I watched it at home last night, and the art museum and the skyline and the lake, I think, are just great advertisements for the city. The other thing I said, and you know, I really mean it, is everyone I've talked to who's either with the convention or in law enforcement. It's been so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very friendly group. You know, we met a lot of people at the opening night event who were from Alabama, they were from Arkansas, they were from Alaska, and they all had never seen our city before. We're getting this great exposure. Now, it helps that the weather changed a little bit. It's a little nicer. We're getting that great weather for the next couple of weeks, which is awesome. I'm sorry, for obviously the next few days.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. I think our city has shown well. I think it's been a very interesting week.
Yeah.
I mean, just no doubt about it. Great for the city after all these years of talking to see it actually here. It's got to be for you, Josh. This has got to be wonderful.
Well, yeah, that's the understatement of the year. An interesting week for sure.
Yes.
And logistically, Josh, I know a lot of downtown workers over the last 3 days have adjusted to it and getting in and out as they needed. Found it probably a little easier after day one for sure. But from the suburban hotels and the regions around downtown Milwaukee, what are you hearing in terms of logistics and impact there?
Yeah, well, all these delegates are getting bussed around. A lot of them are our teams are at many of the hotels around the area, helping delegates get on buses, get shuttled downtown, shuttled back to the hotels. This causes a little bit of delay in getting out to the restaurants or getting to explore, right? Because these delegates are getting shuttled around in large groups, but everything's been going very well. The traffic is actually surprisingly easy. I mean, I drove in on Lake Drive today, and it was maybe easier than some normal business days in the city. I think people can find it's easy to get around. The logistics have been the kinks have been all worked out. It's easy now. It's day 3. Everybody's in the groove. So it's a perfect day to come out. If you're a local, get out, shop, do your normal routine, and maybe you'll see a celebrity along the way.
I would encourage
exactly.
That because, I've heard a couple comments this week about traffic. Kind of like it's no traffic.
Yeah.
Hop on a freeway and come downtown. See the convention, even if you don't get inside the zone. See the people out at restaurants. See the city at its best. See the flags. See the environment. You may run into a celebrity or two at a restaurant. It's just, I think people should experience this who live in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's like
it's like the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
It's like the Super Bowl. It's like an All-Star game. It's something you're going to talk about for years. Why would you stay away from that?
Right. Very good. All right. Next up, Jake Denny, who owns multiple venues on Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, including a brand new venue out in Brookfield, is going to join us with his insights as to how the early first days of the RNC are going for him. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
We're getting all 4 seasons, it looks like, in the span of just about 72 hours.
Entertainment.
His name's John Crimper.
I rode cheap when I was 3, and that's when it all started.
And more. Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my good friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers. Now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, that's my hometown, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton, Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of their families and businesses in the community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision. For all of your commercial and personal banking needs, Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you quality pet supplies because we get you. Right now, during our summer pet care sale, shop unbeatable deals on your pet's favorite food and supplies to keep them happy and healthy. Like a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina dog or cat food, litter, and treats. Save $10 on assorted bags of Canidae dog food. And 20-pound bags of KT Wild Bird food, just $9.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. Mark Cass from Team Lammy, Josh Albrecht, the Chief Marketing Officer at Visit Milwaukee, join us today. Jake Denny is an entrepreneur who now oversees the Sidra Group, an umbrella organization that manages investments and operations of bars and restaurants in Metro Milwaukee, RWB, which also houses Buckhead Back Bar Saloon, Lucky Clover Irish Pub, and now his company owns the brand new Elbow Room in Brookfield. Jake is in the middle of West Town, right here in the heart of the city of Milwaukee in the state of Wisconsin. Jake, how is the beginning of the RNC going for you?
Oh, hey, Jeff. It's going interesting, I would say. It's going well so far. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting is a word that's being used by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So kind of paint the picture for us, just kind of general impressions of the first couple days from your lens and your venues in terms of the events, and a little bit about, some of the lunch and dinner traffic that you're seeing.
Yeah, it's being right, there's a main entrance that goes right into Pfizer there. So it's been like, there are so many camera crews and just like people doing their podcasts. We have a patio out front of Lucky Clover, and it literally is just swarms of news people just sitting around waiting for someone to walk by. Or we had this couple for lunch that was sitting on the patio, and I think they were interviewed Monday 5 times. Like, they literally couldn't finish their lunches. So it's been unique in that capacity. Overall, we decided to not do lunches for the rest of the week, just because it was a little different like that. But we opened for the happy hours at Lucky's, and that's been good. A lot of people just come and get waters and drinks. It's been pretty hot the last 2 days, and then happy hours been good. RWB, it's all been pretty much private events. So we have some booked every day. The 3 to 6 time frame has been different delegations doing. They're kind of hosting VIP. I got to meet Mike Pompeo yesterday. Nice. He had done a speech for the Kansas delegation. Today we have Serbians for Trump, which is a Serbian group. They're busing people from 51st in Oklahoma to come and hang out and see it. It's been really interesting. Riley Gaines was walking down the street, and my wife was outside and took a picture with her. So it's been a very surreal, doesn't typically happen on a Tuesday type of
really
stuff.
Not Milwaukee. Come on, now that happens every week, Jake. Come on.
not as much, right? So that's been it's been interesting, and it is everyone was worried about protests and stuff. Like, the parade came by on Monday, and it was pretty well maintained or controlled in a way. Like, they didn't just sit and park. It's been it's been a weird mix of just sightseers and just people from different countries. How have your employees kind of dealt with the logistics of parking and getting around? Do you make those arrangements in advance well enough? Yeah, kind of. It's been a lot of moving parts on that. Like, there's really one checkpoint on State Street that you can come in, and they have the dogs and the mirrors, and they check your whole trunk, and they do all that stuff. So basically what it ended up being is parking over by Water Street, kind of like AJ Bombers. There's been some parking that's been open there. So pretty much all the service industry people have been focused like, hey, go park over there. There's virtually nobody who usually comes downtown in offices down here. So, other than dealing with this past weekend with Bastille Days, really kind of taking up that part of the East Town. Now anything pretty much east of the river is fairly open for parking. So they've been doing that, and then walking over the footbridge. You can just walk into the soft zone. I mean, they kind of check you a little bit, but it's not like the hard zone, which is pretty much a military fort. So yeah, it's been not too bad.
What about your new place in Brookfield? Are you seeing any increased activity out there?
I haven't in a way I can quantify. I mean, we've been, we're new. It kind of reopened, busy. The community's really excited about it. So I don't know if you can do busier is busier, type of a thing. Like, I've been fortunate out there with the, other than the weather. But yeah, it's been nothing gaugeable. Yeah.
So yeah.
You've always been a huge advocate for the nightlife and entertainment scene in the greater Milwaukee area. I mean, in general, just from an umbrella lens, Jake, what do you hope that comes out of the conference for Milwaukee, and what are you looking forward to for the rest of the summer?
Well, from my perspective, like RWB is usually closed Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And I have these big parties of people coming to the city. Everyone is saying how beautiful Milwaukee is. Like, they couldn't believe it. It's always that I can't believe, it's like this. It's kind of like we keep this secret I'm like, it's not a secret, It's like I've been screaming this since high school, But the number of cameras, like we had like Spanish reporters outside, like international people, like there's nonstop camera crews on, that Martin Luther King area, the 3rd Street thing, nonstop. Like they literally have them outside Cheese Mart. So the amount of publicity we're getting, like I said, last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was quiet downtown. There was nothing going on, right? So now I have...
It's
thousands of people.
At Visit Milwaukee, we've said a ton that this is one giant commercial, and the mayor's been seeing it too. This is the start.
Yeah.
So we get the word out, use this commercial, and go.
Right. I had the Ingram angle in last night, just filming Fox News. I couldn't pay for that. I mean, I'm a small little bar, right? Isn't that crazy?
I mean, that's cool that stuff's happening just kind of naturally. That's the best part of this.
All right, Jake, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend some time with us here on the Upswing live at the RNC. Yep. We'll get down there really soon, a couple steps away from us. Coming up next, one of the managers from... Thanks, Jake. Coming up next, one of the managers from Drink Wisconsin believe if there's a place in the hard security zone that's seeing increased activity from all angles, it is definitely Drink Wisconsin believe. This is the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
There's only one place to go for your full post-game Brewers breakdown. Brewers Extra Innings with Dom Catronio.
Whoa, that escalated quickly.
In-depth analysis on every game. Hear from the manager, Pat Murphy, and a whole lot of highlights.
Fly ball, center field, back, track, gone!
Catch Brewers Extra Innings after every Brewers game on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they're there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
Now, if you're in Milwaukee and you can't get into the convention, there is an official convention watch party every day this week at a local pub called, and this is true, Drink Wisconsinly. Lovely. Bravo. Truly.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. Without a doubt, each and every night, the official convention watch party is hosted by the RNC and located at Drink Wisconsinly Pub within the hard security zone at Deer District. Nick O'Leary, the operations manager at Drink Wisconsinly, joins us. Nick, thanks for taking time out of your morning. I'm sure you were up late last night.
Absolutely. It's been a wild week.
Yes.
4 a.m. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Were you up till 4 a.m. at the bar?
No, we're not seeing the 4 a.m. business the early part of the week. I think maybe tonight and tomorrow when the parties get a little more intense, people will be out later, but we're still seeing like the 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock hour.
Okay. I mean, that's still pretty intense for me, so that's a good.
Yes, yes. So kind of paint the picture for us in terms of how the week has been so far for you, in terms of the preparation to kind of scale with the increased crowds and density into your place.
I mean, it's thick. It's busy. We anticipated a lot of people during the day, but this is more than what we imagined. There's just massive crowds. I mean, Monday wasn't supposed to be as big of a day as we thought, but with the announcement and Trump being at the convention with all the speeches, there's just people out everywhere all day long.
Yeah. And from a business standpoint, has it been, I'm sure you kind of weighed the benefits of, hey, should we be closed to the general public and open just to convention goers? I'm guessing that's paid off for you, but was it a risk going into it because you didn't know what to expect?
A little bit, but I think with our, where we are as proximity to the event, it was a no-brainer to be in that small circle because there isn't a lot of options over there because most of the other spots are all bought out. So anyone that leaves on recess just comes over by our place and starts drinking old fashions and spotted cows and, enjoying the Wisconsin experience.
Yes. So what's selling and not selling
I
for
want to
you?
know, how many spotted cows have you sold this week?
We've gone through 5 kegs in 2 days. We actually had to order more.
That's a lot of spotted cow. I love that.
So it's definitely the word of mouth amongst all the travelers that are talking about spotted cow for sure.
How many old fashions have you sold?
Quite a few. A lot of our slushies because the weather's been so hot, so people are trying to cool down. Everyone's running in for the AC and drinking some slushes and. One of our Drink Wisconsin cocktails, to our new vodka cocktails. Everyone's enjoying those.
How many spotted cows do you think are going home this week?
Yeah.
Kind of tucked in the suitcases. I mean, at the airport, you're going to see them
will be cleaned out.
All piled them up there.
I mean, I haven't seen people walk around with 6-packs because it's that talkability factor is strong for sure. So in terms of the
economy.
Yes. In terms of the watch parties, how are those going with kind of spillover crowd that is not at Fiserv for you?
Yeah, they all leave and come in. It's almost like a Bucks game where the event business afterwards, like we're at capacity. It's standing room only, shoulder to shoulder. People are really happy. Everyone's having a good time.
All right, very good. Well, what's anything else special on tap for the rest of the week other than just serving the crowd and continuing in the sunshine and smiles?
That's pretty much it.
All right, very good. Nick O'Leary is the operations manager at Drink Wisconsinly Pub each and every night, hosting the official RNC watch party. Nick, congratulations, and continue to serve people from around the world all week long.
Will do.
WTMJ.
Thanks, guys.
See you later. WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next, and a discussion around digital advertising on the campaign and convention level.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The speeches at last night's Republican National Convention in Milwaukee were all about coming together under Donald Trump. Tonight, Vice Presidential pick J.D. Vance will deliver his speech in Milwaukee. ABC's Catherine Faulders with a preview talking about Donald Trump's running mate. How does he continue that message of unity? She's saying she was at an event yesterday with the Republican National Convention chair who was talking about how speeches are being edited and they are changing their message following the assassination attempt. And the question is, how do you change that with the events that happened last weekend? The Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General says it has opened an investigation into the Secret Service's handling of security on the day that gunman tried to assassinate Donald Trump. Sources tell ABC News that President Biden is seriously considering a major changes to the Supreme Court, including proposals for legislation to establish term limits for the justices and an enforceable ethics code. This is ABC News.
Starting Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:31. Body cam video shows the man shot and killed by Columbus, Ohio police just outside the RNC security perimeter had 2 knives and was fighting with another man. His family said the man was living in a tent city in King Park and had a history of mental illness. No one's saying what a masked man who was carrying a gun outside the convention was planning to do. The 21-year-old man who was wearing a ski mask and carrying a tactical backpack and a gun was arrested Monday. He did not have a concealed carry permit. Travis King, the soldier from Racine who jumped the border into North Korea, reportedly in plea negotiations with the Army. He was due in a military court in Texas for a preliminary hearing yesterday, but military prosecutors say that's been delayed because of plea talks. King facing several charges, including desertion. Reconstruction of Milwaukee's Lake Drive set to begin on Monday. The 2-phase project, which includes replacing pavement, drainage structures, and establishing protected bike lanes, will begin with work between Edgewood Avenue and Kenwood Boulevard. Should be finished by mid-2025. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Nasdaq still down quite a bit, down 429 points this hour, 18,079. The S&P 500 down 65 at 5,601. The Dow is up again, 128 points at 41,083. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Highway 38 north at College Avenue. The right lane there is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Might be some slowing there. Also I-41 north, almost a mile beyond the ramp from Ryan Road. The right shoulder there blocked also due to a broken down vehicle. Restrictions around downtown. Otherwise, no major delays to report this hour. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A sunny start to the day. A few afternoon and evening clouds, maybe a pop-up shower today. A high of 78. It's going to be clear and cool tonight with a low 58. Sunshine tomorrow, a high 76. Friday, sunny and 81. Partly cloudy and 83 on Saturday. Then a slight chance of rain moves in on Sunday with a high of 81. Right now, Madison 72, 70 in Green Bay, and 76 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Boy, it can be so expensive to dine out, but not at the family-owned Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and the Mineshaft has lowered the price of their Wednesday and Friday fish fry. To listen closely, $6.99, and it's all you can eat. $6.99. For smaller appetites, the 2-piece dine-in fish fry is $4.99. What a value. Kids 5 and under eat free today from the kids menu. That's right, free. And they can safely play in that world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area. You can also build your own big burger or chicken sandwich today with a huge pile of hot fries for under $10. The Mineshaft right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh with lots of seating, plenty of close parking, fired up air conditioner. It's big food. It's big fun. No reservations needed. Just walk in today for your all-you-can-eat fish fry for under $10. The best part of the meal, desserts, are buy one, get one free. Welcome to the cool and comfortable Mineshaft restaurant.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better. And that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventnose.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. So think about the last time you scrolled through social media, or you looked at a national news site or an app you're reading. Chances are you probably got a political ad that was perfectly aligned with your views, or perhaps one that maybe even outraged you a little bit, right? Talking to a lot of political consultants, delegates, and just campaign strategists this week at the RNC, I thought I had to figure out a way to get more information on targeted digital advertising and how the campaigns work from a strategic level to reach voters with digital ads, because it's art, it's science, and it's technology. Campaigns and groups work to reinforce their messages to convention goers too, right? Everyone here at the RNC may be getting specific advertising based upon where they're going or who they're talking to. So there's a lot of different things in this modern era of digital advertising. I wanted to figure out what it means specifically for campaigns. I've spent a bunch of years in the digital ad space, still do some work there. So I'm excited today to have Jackie Ubig, who is the VP of Candidates and Causes at Basis Technologies in Chicago, join us. Basis works with political candidates and causes to bring positive results to their digital campaign goals, political agendas, and cause-related initiatives. It's a highly divisive campaign world we live in, right, Jackie? So I'm excited to talk to you about the challenges and opportunities around digital advertising. How are you this beautiful morning?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Jeff. And while Basis is located, headquartered out of Chicago, I am sitting in a very humid Washington, D.C. today. So I hope the weather is nicer in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee.
It is. You know, the humidity has subsided a little bit on day 3 here at the RNC. It is beautiful. It is Chamber of Commerce weather here in downtown Milwaukee. It's absolutely perfect.
Absolutely love it. It sounds like the crowds are really fired up there.
Yeah, without a doubt. A lot of people walking past even as we speak. So give us just a general lens into how you work with campaigns today, and kind of what are some of the biggest challenges to reach voters in the digital space.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in this space since 2006. Don't add up the years to figure out my age, but seen a lot of changes over that time. And right now, it's really just about campaigns continuing to fundraise, right? Because they need the funds, and then what to do with those funds, and what that perfect funnel or media mix looks like, from your traditional to your digital, who owns what, where connected TV fits, which I know we're going to talk about a bit more because that's a real hot topic, where text messaging comes into play, where social, whether that's Meta or TikTok or even Google search, still fits into the ecosystem. So it's a real fine, delicate balance, and also really keeping in mind the approach that maybe too much targeting is over-targeting and you're missing your voter, especially this year. So it's just, there's a lot of trial and error, but the good thing is in digital, that's very quick. You know, you don't have to wait for a TV to run from, Tuesday to Monday and then figure out what that looks like. So we're able to get those real-time results and make those adjustments.
How do you work with conventions, obviously like the RNC right here in Milwaukee, to target and reach convention goers? What does that strategy look like?
Sure. That strategy, most likely started, a week or so out, really getting the message out there on other channels. And then as we approached this weekend and people started landing in Milwaukee and getting to their hotels and getting ready for the convention, geofencing, right? Think about your phones. Every time you call an Uber or a Lyft, every time you look at your weather app, you're allowing it to look at your location, and it's sending that ping as to where your device is, right? So we're able to work with companies that gather those pings, those locations, and say, okay, this device is at a hotel within walking distance of the convention, or, hey, Jeff's at Radio Row, and know that we can then target those devices, even though we don't know it belongs to you. We know your device, device is there. Send that device ads, that messaging, whether that's, hey, swing by Jeff's booth to talk about more about political advertising, or, hey, what are your thoughts about J.D. Vance, or, hey, learn more about Trump's agenda and things of that nature. And you move that quickly. You can say, you have it categorized by day. Hey, day one, here's what the theme of the convention is going to be, day two, and just kind of engage people in that real-time environment.
All right, Jackie Ulbrich joins us from Basis Technologies. When we come back from the break, what does the average voter need to watch out for with digital advertising? This is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Moving Grave's headquarters to downtown Milwaukee was the right decision for the future of our company. Hi, I'm John Kissinger, President and CEO of Grave, a full-service engineering, planning, and design firm. We wanted to be part of downtown's vibrancy. Our goal was to create a collaborative and innovative work environment that would attract the next generation of talent. I love working downtown, and so do my employees. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza, as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one, Five?
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 7/31/2024.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Live from the RNC, we are presented by Horicon Bank. Jackie Ulbreg is the Vice President of Candidates and Causes at Basis Technologies. She's also a board member at the American Association of Political Consultants. Jackie, again, thanks for taking time with us this morning.
Absolutely.
As we look at the digital advertising space for campaigns, how are you leveraging AI, machine learning to optimize campaigns, but also kind of just looking at the ethical lines with the technology?
Oh, Jeff, with the hard questions. I think that's something that's something that needs more attention from our space this year and beyond. AI and machine learning is not something that's new to the advertising space, right? It's been here for a while since programmatic came in and DSPs became wildly successful across the board. So that's, using AI and machine learning in that respect is just to have an extra set of guardrails, if you will, of optimizing to what ads are performing well, if they're resonating, are they getting clicks, are they getting views, things of that nature. I think where AI becomes a little scary or something we need to keep an eye on is the creation of the ads. It's one thing to use AI to create the script for the ad or things of that nature. It's another thing when you start using deep fakes, when you're showcasing someone in an ad that's not actually there and putting words in their mouth and not sourcing that you're using AI. I think there's a lot of legislation in our space that still needs to be looked at and come out, but that seems to be the one piece of it that, in my opinion, can be confusing for voters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, leveraging the data on the back end with AI is effective, but in terms of the ad formats and platforms, there's a lot of game changers out there, campaigns using TikTok and other platforms, but how does the average voter discern that, hey, this is a real ad when some of the ads in the digital space aren't marked in the same ways as traditional advertising?
Yeah, I will say at Basis, we hold our clients to a different level, if you will, requiring for them to put who paid for the ad and information within when you click on the ad or scroll over an icon on the ad. So we're trying to get ahead of that as an industry leader. I think it's really on the voter to do their due diligence. If you see something and you feel like it may not be right or like anything else is too good to be true, do your research. Read the articles by trusted sources and form your own opinions that way versus just relying on the rhetoric in some of these ads.
What are some of the approaches that are being taken in terms of the true transparency? Like you said, it's making sure that all the ads are marked effectively and sourced effectively, and also are served on legitimate websites that you are aware of the content, right?
Correct. So there's brand safety has been something that we've all been talking about in this industry for a long time, but there's definitely additional safety factors you can ask your ad vendor to help you with, whether you're pulling your own levers inside a DSP or you're working with someone managed service. Ask them, hey, what sort of safety parameters are you putting on this campaign? Can you make sure that we are staying away from not safe for work content, alcohol, drugs? We want to make sure that, X, Y, and Z happens and we're not around that. Or you can say, hey, this is a really important issue to us and we want to make sure that our ads are showing up, 90% of the time that this issue is mentioned in, on different websites. So there's two ways to that brand safety, whether really zoning in and leveraging it or making sure that your stuff is staying safe. And we're seeing across the board that a lot of partners are already doing that, but you've got to ask the questions.
Yeah. All right. Creating effective, safe digital campaigns for politicians and causes. Jackie Ulbreg is the Vice President of Candidates and Causes at Basis Technologies in Chicago, although she's in Washington, D.C. today. Jackie, I appreciate you taking time, and best of luck in Chicago with the DNC.
Thanks. And I just, real shout out, I'm a Packers fan, so go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. John Stevenson, D.C. What is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
Numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is absolutely treatable. We can get great results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call Strive Integrative Health at 262-307-2133 today for a nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call Strive Integrative Health at 262-307-2133. Act now, 262-307-2133.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset, someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, live at the RNC. Joined now by Jeremy Janine, who is the president and co-founder of Urban Milwaukee. Jeremy, thanks for joining us from upstairs at Wisconsin Media Row.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right. So kind of paint the picture of the atmosphere and mood for Milwaukee residents during the convention, especially those that aren't directly involved with the convention. Kind of, what are you seeing in the neighborhoods?
So two interesting things are happening. One, I'm wearing my badge around my neck every time I leave the convention area. Very rarely I'm getting stopped. And when I do get stopped, it's, wait, what's that for? Yeah. And I'm amazed that people aren't seeing these people in yellow. And I'm talking about I'm going home to Bayview, and people are looking at me a bit weird. And occasionally they're asking, and then they're like, oh, yeah, the RNC. On the flip side, Monday night, days are just a concept at this point.
Yes, they really are.
Clearly my neighbors were plugged in, because as I was walking across the floor with the delegates, I got multiple text messages of, hey, is that you I see on MSNBC? So there's definitely an interest in it. I've gotten lots of questions from friends and family about what's happening, what's the environment like. My brother made sure to come down last night and kind of check out the outside of the security perimeter.
Yeah. I mean, as we were talking with Visit Milwaukee and Jake Denny and Drink Responsibly earlier in the show, I think there's kind of been a mixed bag in terms of the expectations for increased traffic at bars and restaurants. Some have scaled back hours. Some have increased late-night hours. What are you hearing and seeing in terms of bar and restaurant owners?
Well, last night was a Tuesday night, so I kind of think we're at this put-up-or-shut-up point where we're going to find out tonight whether people are going to go out. And I think a lot of what we're seeing is people that are associated with the convention are going out. They're going to their events, though. They're not going just anywhere and everywhere. So there's winners and losers.
Yes.
I think we'll see that change tonight if media members all of a sudden are like, oh, I've been working 15-hour days and now I'm going to get cut loose.
Yeah. I think, and people, you got to remember that it's a convention, and you go from kind of your hotel to the convention space and back, no matter what city you're in. But once you get out of the perimeter, there's a lot to take in, for sure.
Absolutely. I've been talking to lots of journalists from out of town. Every time we can ask them, everyone is excited. Milwaukee journalists I talk to, that so many people are here and they're able to interact with so many people. They're also all very tired, and I expect they're just going to go crazy tonight or tomorrow night.
All right. How's your store doing over just outside of the perimeter?
So we're right by the Pfister Hotel.
Yep.
Things are okay right now.
Okay.
But I'm kind of waiting with a lot of different festivals, not just the RNC. There are days that are really good, and there are days that are not so good. And it's just a fluky thing that happens, so I'm waiting to cast judgment for this next 2 days.
All right, biggest story you found so far? We got about 30 seconds.
Oh, biggest 30 seconds? Oh, man. Well, I thought it was interesting. The story I'm working on now is Jon Stewart last night said the Daily Show was canceled in part because the Marcus Center was going to be on the hard security perimeter. It's not, so I thought that was an interesting claim to make.
Interesting.
It's disappointing that the Daily Show is not here. I thought that was going to be really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people were really excited for that, and obviously Bill Maher canceling too. Had similar sentiments, but he's already rescheduled, which will be great.
Yep, he'll be back.
All right, Jeremy Janine, president and co-founder of Urban Milwaukee. Best of luck with the rest of the convention, and I'm sure we'll see you soon.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News, Jessica Ty and Greg Matzik.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with